In this video, I'll discuss Q1 FY26 result and business model of Vintage Coffee. So, Vintage Coffee is a B2B instant coffee maker. 80% of their revenue comes from export business. In this quarter, 40% of their revenue came from Middle East and Africa, and then another 20% of revenue came from Russia. In terms of the customer concentration, in the last video, in Q4 FY25 video, I made a mistake by saying that their top 5 customer contributes around 60% to their revenue, which is wrong. Okay, so in this quarter, their top 5 customer contributed around 40% to their whole revenue. So yeah, that is a good number. 40% is, I will not say that, I am not going to say that it is a very bad number, but I would like to see that number coming down towards 25-30%. Okay, so that is the thing. In terms of the management, if we look at their chairman worked for Tata Coffee in the past. He helped Tata Coffee to grow their sales from $3 million to $50 million. So the chairman have a good experience in the industry. And also, if we look at their chairman also worked for 24 years in Tata Coffee. So yeah, the management have a good experience in this industry, and so that is the thing. And they also work for big company like Tata Coffee also. So that is a really good thing in terms of the management experience. In the last year, in September 2024, they opened a new cafe in Navi Mumbai, and that was their first B2C segment. And that was the start of the B2C segment in this company. Okay, so that is the thing, and we have to see in the future that how they can expand their cafe their cafe in the all over the India. So yeah, there is no further update about any openings of any other cafe, but yeah, we have to see that how this B2C segment grows in the future. In terms of the capacity, now they have around 6500 MTPA capacity. Okay, till January 2025 they had around 4500 MTPA capacity. In the end of January, they added another 2000 MTPA capacity to the whole lineup. So now it is at 6500 MTPA capacity, and they have a plan to expand that capacity to 11,000 MTPA by the end of FY26. So they are looking to add another 4500 MTPA capacity by FY26. After adding that 4500 MTPA capacity, they have another plan to add another 5000 MTPA capacity plant to their company. So their capacity expansion plan is very aggressive, because if we look at their current capacity, that is at 6500 MTPA capacity, and over the next few years, okay, we can expect 16,000 MTPA capacity in this company. So in terms of the capacity expansion, they have a very aggressive plan, because if you look at 16,000 MTPA, that is 3x, that is around 3x 2.5x kind of a expansion over the current capacity. Okay, so that is the point. We have to see that how they start all the capacity in next few years. So that is the point. In terms of the revenue, in this quarter they grew their revenue by 130%. So if we look at their past also, for last 2 years, they are growing at 120-130%. Consistently they are growing at over 100%. Okay, so that is a really good thing. But if we look at their next 2 quarters, what can happen in next 2 quarters, the revenue might stay in the range of 100 to 110 crore, because they are now at 100% capacity utilization. So the next capacity will come in Q4 FY26. Okay, so till then they do not have any chance to increase their capacity utilization because it is now at 100%. So as the order of Q2 FY26 also booked, okay, by the customers, so we can expect another 100 to 110 crore revenue in the Q2 FY26, and going forward also for Q3 Q4 that might stay in the range of 100 to 120 crore. So that is the point. That is why you can see a slowdown in growth in next 2-3 quarters, but it is completely okay because they do not have nothing to do with it. If the growth comes down in the next 2-3 quarters, it is not because that the company is not doing well, but it is for obvious reason that they do not have capacity to increase their revenue, increase their capacity utilization. So that is the point. But in the future they can increase their revenue, because as I said, the expansion plan is very aggressive. So that is the point I am trying to say, that we should not look at one line, that what is the revenue growth. We have to see the company at a overall level, okay, that overall the company is doing good or bad. Okay, so we have to track for next 2-3 quarters, we have to track their capacity utilization, that what is their capacity utilization quarter after quarter. Okay, if that stays in the range of 100 and 95 kind of range, 95 to 100%, then it is okay, because now they are at 100%, so we can expect a 95% 100% kind of capacity utilization for next 2-3 quarters until the new capacity comes. Okay, after the new capacity, after the new capacity, commission of the new capacity, we have to see how they are increasing their capacity utilization. Okay, so that is the point we have to see, because in January, when they commissioned their new plant of 2000 MTPA, within 1 month they has been able to increase their capacity to 100%. They were able to use the whole capacity of 22,000 MTPA within 1 month. So that is the thing we have to look at in the future also, that when the new capacity will come, when the new capacity comes, okay, when the new capacity comes, new capacity of what, 4500 MTPA comes, we have to track that how they are increasing their capacity utilization. Okay, so that is the thing we have to look at. So for next 2-3 quarters, what we have to see, that how the capacity utilization number is, and then how they are when the new capacity comes in the business. We have to see that how the company is able to increase their capacity utilization. So that is the point we have to look at, and so that is the thing. In terms of the EBITDA margin, in this quarter they registered a EBITDA margin of 17.75%, and if we look at their last few quarters, they are very consistent about the EBITDA margin. They has been doing a EBITDA margin of 17 to 18% for last 8 quarters. So yeah, in terms of the margin, they are really doing very good job. Okay, so that is the thing. In terms of the PAT, they grew their PAT by 200% in this quarter. So if we look at their past also, they are consistently growing their PAT at 150, 170, even 200%, which is in this quarter. So in terms of the PAT, they are doing really well. In terms of the PAT margin also, if we look at their margin in FY24, that was at 9%. Okay, and now their margin, PAT margin is at 13 to 14% kind of a range in FY25. So in terms of the margin expansion also, they are doing really good. They are consistently improving their margin. So that is the thing. And as I said, if I talk about the final thoughts about this company, in next few quarters, the revenue growth might slow down, but in the long term, we have to see that how they are able to increase their revenue, because in many cases we have seen that that a company is expanding their capacity, and then after all the work, after commissioning of the new capacity, the demand goes down, the industry uh, goes into trouble. So that kind of a thing can happen. So that is why we have to track a company quarter after quarter, that how the all the metrics are. It is not about the revenue growth, it is not about the EBITDA margin, it is not about only PAT. Okay, but it is all that how all the parameters are doing, because business is not a thing that you can say by reading a line. Okay, you have to analyze, you have to understand the business model, you have to understand how the business is doing, what can happen in the future. So yeah, that is the point I am trying to say, that if you see also in the quarter on quarter revenue number is flat, because in the last quarter they were at 100% capacity utilization, and in this quarter, because if a company is at 100% capacity utilization, there is no upside there. So that is the point I am trying to say, that in next 2-3 quarters we should not expect a good kind of growth in terms of the revenue, but yeah, they can increase their PAT. But yeah, I do not think that is going to happen, but let's see what happens. So in terms of valuations, the company is trading at 40xp, which is I think more or less fair, because it is a B2B company, and we have to see also that how the B2C segment turns out in the future. So that is the point with Vintage Coffee. So that's it for the video. Thanks for watching.